My mom, if I'd say bad, I say, Mom, I'm having the worst day of my life. She goes, I hope so.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means like, I hope this is the worst.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I'm like, no, it's not good. It's not good. It doesn't feel good at all.
Welcome to Good Enough. Oh gosh, today is a great enough episode because we've got the big kahunas.
We went to Japan together. Well, first let's
Introduce him.
Well, don't say we went together. So here's what happened. My name's Gianmarco.
Okay, but Gianmarco Soresi, I just want to say you are like so fucking funny, and I'm so happy that you're on the podcast. You have a special called Thief of Joy that's available on YouTube, and you're
so
doing
funny.
like a global
Thank you.
tour. You tour the world in a way that I'm like, did you invent that? Like, you feel like the funniest guy in Brooklyn, and then there you are in Japan, and everybody comes out to see you in Japan.
We were both in Japan independently.
Okay.
But then we had
Yes.
a dinner on New Year's Eve and with all of our couple
No,
friends
we know you
and
guys
everything.
are fucking. Look, don't try and bury the lead
But
here.
But Moshe kept saying, "Oh, Gianmarco, he's so hilarious."
But I knew Moshe. Like we'd met. We
Yes.
had never met in person.
Yes.
So
Natasha, we had never met.
Yeah, Natasha, yes. And so we went, my girlfriend and I went to a sumo show.
Oh, yeah,
And we
that's
just so happened to see, oh my God, there's Natasha and Moshe and their daughter. And
In a
I'm
sumo
like
show.
trying to catch their attention. Moshe's buried in his phone. And Natasha sees me.
True to
and-
the character Natasha's painted.
Yeah. And I think Natasha thought, oh God, a fucking fan in Tokyo. Because I'm waving
I
like,
did
like,
kinda.
hey. And Natasha's like,
I saw it twice,
hi.
and then
Okay.
And then moved away, and I was like, no, I swear.
Did you guys all come on? Is that really the vibe? If you had a fan in Tokyo, I'd be so excited to have a fan in Tokyo.
Well, wait till this.
Not
becomes-
Natasha. Natasha takes her fans for granted. Her and Chapel Roan, they're both just.
What happened with Chapel Roan?
Okay, so here's
Tell
what.
us.
Did
Yeah.
you see this? So
Huge fan, by the way.
Huge fan. A
Huge
famous
fan.
soccer player, which I don't know anything about this, but
Yeah.
but I guess he wrote on Instagram that his daughter was so excited. They were eating breakfast at a hotel. Chapel Roan was there. The daughter just walked by to confirm it was her, made eye contact, left,
Yeah.
giggling, smiling. They even took a picture for smiling. She was so happy.
Chapel Roan beats the shit out of her.
Close. Then a security guard comes over to the family and goes like, you need to not have your daughter harassing people, blah, blah, blah. And of course he posted, everyone blamed Chapel, but this is a security team. It's not necessarily hers.
No,
it could have
this
just
doesn't
been.
feel like
Also,
Chapel.
she's only been famous for 3 years. You gotta wait for that kind
Yeah.
of flex. Because I don't know.
She
I
didn't do it,
disagree
though.
with you guys.
She did not do it.
Oh, okay. It wasn't
At least
her
it's what she's
person.
claiming.
I'm an expert. I just found out about the story.
Because now the country is banning her from performing at a festival.
No!
Yeah, and people are saying, well, you let Chris Brown perform here every day. It's all hypocritical. She's getting way too
Whatever.
much flack.
Let her need her space.
Do you guys even want to hear about the time I met Rihanna?
What
No.
happened?
She was not nice to me.
How bad are we talking?
We're talking, it's the Much Music Video Awards. And yeah, I was on video on trial many years in a row, feeling like a celebrity in my own country. Nelly Furtado gave a quote from the show. She said, I love your joke about how you put your thumb in Kanye's bum. Yeah, real
That's
joke,
nice.
real joke from my past. If you gave me a stack of money the size of my thumb, which is worth repeating because Nelly Furtado remembered that joke. Okay?
Get to the
I'm
Rihanna.
feeling puffed up. I see Rihanna at the after party and I'm like, celebrities love me. I walk up to her. I go, hey, I love your stuff. Could I get a picture with you? And she looks me up and down and she goes, yeah, hold up. And then she walks away from me. I go, oh, she's got something. She's busy. She walks away from me. She starts gathering helium balloons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 helium balloons. Then she finds some friends. She looks back at me with a look of like, oh, she's still there. And I said, oh, she doesn't want to take a picture with me.
This is the whole story?
Wait for it. She stabs me. She stabs me 3 times. No, yeah, the whole story is that I was so excited to meet her, and then she just walked away and gathered helium balloons.
I thought she was going to do something with helium balloons,
Well,
like
she
suck
cut-
in the air
yeah,
and go,
she sucked in
leave
the air
me
and
the
said,
fuck.
"Leave me the fuck alone."
Yeah.
No, it's just like she didn't. The helium balloons is very cinematic for me. I'm just remembering that image of like Rihanna doesn't want to hang out with you. But Rihanna projects herself as someone that would do that. So it's not surprising. That's why none of you guys are trying to ban her from Brazil.
Well,
Sure.
listen, when I was in Japan with Gianmarco, I got to know him and his girlfriend, and I have to say I was very taken with your story about how you grew up, and also really taken by how you, can I say your girlfriend's name?
Tova, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
no,
like,
it's fine. I understand.
how you and Tova were so good with my daughter. You guys were like asking her real questions. I wasn't sure. Does Tova have a bunch of sisters? Is that where that came
We're
from?
both oldest siblings.
Okay, because no one has ever been, no one child free has ever been that engaging with my daughter.
I like to think I have the skill of talking to kids like people.
Well, because
as
we were at
opposed
dinners
to-
where she was the only child.
Also, your daughter's very mature and funny. I mean, like, she just, like,
But kids
she's also great.
Kids appreciate
I mean, not every
that
kid.
vibe of like,
Yeah,
of like not like,
yeah.
"So what are you gonna do?" It's like, no, what's up?
Yeah, it's being able to talk just and also joke and also, like, be bitchy in, like, a fun way. Like, it's
She
just
loved
that.
how many exotic animals you were eating.
Yes. Yeah. I bring a lot to the table. I bring a lot of, like, kids will think this is cool. I ate.
What are the three the craziest things you ate?
Well, I went to this place. It was called Circus and Rice, and it's like designed for here's weird shit to eat.
Yes.
So I ate some bear meat, delicious. Camel meat. It was a whole meat tray.
Camel?
A lot of bugs, and then the real thing I'm proud of is I ate a full baby sparrow.
You're
one
proud.
bite.
You're proud. A baby.
Yeah. Just so I could do it in one bite, and it's like the worst kind of chicken nugget because it
got
is
bones, right?
It's got bones. I didn't think it was going to be warm.
Did you
I thought it
eat
was
the
gonna
whole
be
thing in one bite, or
one?
you had?
It's on a stick,
Oh my god, with the beak and everything.
beak and everything,
Oh my
Crunchy
God.
beak.
crunchy, and
Worst chicken nugget.
like I'm in my head. Really, you decide in your head, like, am I going to get sick from this or am I fine? It's a real mental game.
Interesting.
And so, like, I feel, I've pierced the ribs with my teeth. And then you go, don't think about that. Focus on the meat. And there was a little meat right in the belly. That was the chicken nugget part.
Yeah.
Riding the belly?
In the middle of the belly.
I mean, it's
Right
so
in the
not
belly.
worth it to kill these baby sparrows for this as a review of like, I had to really push through, and then in the
But
end
he
it tasted
did it.
kind of like
And I
shit.
love the mental, like he mentally prepped himself for it.
Do you, with your daughter, are you feeding like, try this, try that?
Yes, she
Oh.
loves it. She like is flexing that all the time.
Thank
she
God.
had like, what did she have? Jellyfish. She had like at a sushi place. What she had in Japan that was interesting. What was it? Like, she had fried puffer fish.
Whoa.
Wow.
They had it at the Ryokon because you know the
Was it good?
Ryokon food is very intense. It's very old school. No, it wasn't good. It's a very fishy bread. It's like imagine starting your day with like very fish heavy everything.
You know what I'm gathering is like there's a reason why we're mainly doing chicken and beef, you know? And like we're all trying to like, ooh, maybe I'll be the first person. It's like humans have been around forever trying this shit, being like, no, octopus pussy is not it. Let's have chicken again.
Well, she was sawing at an octopus the other day, and since I watched that, what was that documentary about the octopus?
Oh, no.
It's called octopus pussy.
No.
It
what
showed
is
they
it?
get married and they
It's
have
my
friends and-
octopus is my girlfriend.
My octopus friend or whatever
Yes,
it is.
yeah.
After I watched that and found out how smart they are and how those little suckers are so smart, but she hasn't watched that.
Yeah.
And so she's still really into the octopus. And
Eating
I'm-
octopus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I couldn't even have a bite of it. And so, but anyway, yes,
I
like
ate an baby octopus with a quail egg in its head, and I did it in one bite.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this circus has really come for you.
Yeah, it might be smart, but they replaced that brain with an egg, and it was much better that way.
Gianmarco's eaten a real human baby foot. With the little, I can't add anything after baby foot.
Well, I have been thinking about something you told me a lot because I have so many friends going through divorces, and I remember you told me at dinner that your parents shuttled you from one house to another. Like you just had this memory of always having like suitcases and
Big
things.
duffel bag that was just stuffed with everything. I had this neurotic thing. I didn't want to. They didn't even live that far away from each other. But every action figure. It wasn't like, well, I'm going to play with just the Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin today. It was all of them. The Ring, not just the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 2 and the N64, and just a gigantic duffel bag that I was too small to carry.
Oh, it's
And-
like such a metaphor for all the baggage.
Yeah.
And then every other day, like because now I see parents have like 3 days with one parent, 3
So I had a
days.
2-week cycle, which I feel like is kind of common, but I hear all sorts of arrangements where it was like, I mean, just to say it, it would be like mom's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, dad's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Mom's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, dad's Thursday, Friday, mom's Saturday, Sunday. Repeat forever until I stop speaking to them.
Yes.
And looking back, like, it was unfathomable to me of people like spend all their time with their mom and then summers with their dad. But looking back, I'm like, that's a much healthier lifestyle
Really?
than this constant back and forth. The fact that the weekend was interrupted was the dumbest thing, because dad's Friday, mom's Saturday, Sunday. So
Yeah.
every Saturday, I'm going to a different house. So if I'm doing a sleepover Friday night, I got to pack for the next day, going to
Yeah.
a different house. And I think that was really stupid. And just do week on, week off. Have more time. I don't know. It feels like
what
neurotic.
are your tips, having lived Death of a Salesman child with the suitcase up to Yonkers?
I guess.
Have you read the play?
I'm trying to appeal to the theater kid in you.
Yeah.
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Yada. But what is your, like, it's 1 week on, 1 week off is the ideal,
Because
having
you
lived
can't
it?
tell kids just because they can't, or you can't tell parents just because they can't stand the partner that they can only see their kids in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a friend.
Sure. I just think you need long gaps. Like the idea that, like, listen, it's on you. You weren't supposed to get divorced. So
Yeah.
take the hit. It should just be week on, week off, week on, week off. Just longer. This idea of like 3 days here, 2 days here is, when I look back and I'm like, well, that's crazy. Of course I felt scattered. Of course I didn't have a home. And I even have half siblings
yeah.
on my mom's side and my dad's side, but on my mom's side, they stayed there full time. And there were just certain elements that I don't think I got to experience with them because I wasn't there.
You were always leaving.
I was always leaving.
That is so fucked up, because it's making me realize the reason why this is the way it is because parents are selfish.
Well, yeah.
They wanna have their
but
kid
what do
for
you-
3
What do you think
days.
about the central house aspect?
Have you heard the other version?
The rich person
version, which is like there's one central house, and then the parents are the ones that are coming in
But that's
and out.
if my girlfriend and I,
Yeah.
if I got to live in a place without her overseeing, if I'm in a hotel for 2 days and she joins
Yeah.
me for the third
Yes.
day, she goes, "What the fuck happened here?"
Yes.
She's
This
a
is-
very take charge type of gal.
Yes.
Which I love. We got into a
But
fight.
yeah.
This woman wouldn't give me my money back.
Yes.
And like I paid her for some ice cream, and then she just like took the money and started talking to her friend in Japanese, no less.
I love this lady.
Yeah.
And
I
then
love her.
Tova comes up and got our money, and like I had tried, Moshe tried, but I was like, I want that woman in my life.
How did Tova do it?
I don't know. She goes, no, the money that she gave you, and Tova goes, I can see it. It's right there. Like she hadn't even put it in the register yet.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
I want her in charge of my life.
Sure, me too. That's what we're doing. But
But the idea of her coming into a home that you've been inhabiting for a week.
I don't know how people could possibly do that with their kid, and that feels like weird and surreal. Like look, the kid has to get used to the fact that there's 2 different homes. I think it's
Yes.
more about just the time. You
The
gotta
time
have
spent.
you gotta have space and time, and it's just really hard because this is all done under duress. This is all calculated with someone that you loathe maybe in the moment.
That is such a
Yeah.
funny thing. Yeah, I mean, it's not funny. It's sad, but it's like, yeah, you're like your partnership is with someone you hate
Yeah.
or
Well, I
triggers
think,
you.
Gianmarco, you're like a perfect person to have on because you, despite having this sort of like, and if you listen to his special,
You talk about a lot of
you
this.
talk
in the
about your
special.
fucked up family and your experience with living in these 2 different feuding homes, but you look at you. You ended up, I'd say, perfect in some way.
Talk of the town.
Sure,
I'd say you're pretty perfect, but
I
like-
fantasize about being able to talk to like divorced people, like to
Yeah, so
counsel them. But the problem is if they hate each other, what are you gonna do?
So then I guess the very first thing that you're saying is if you're going to split up and you have kids, number one primary, and this is like not, it's obviously people know this, but number one, you got to work on your communication with each other.
Sure. It's easier said than done, though.
Of course.
I mean, it just depends.
But
It just
if- but
depends
there-
how
but there are people-
toxic the people are.
But there
Ooh.
are people that like deeply want to have their families, but deeply don't want to be together. But the deeper part is that they want their families. And now we have people that are openly, like you talking openly about your experience is helpful because that's a motivator that your
Sure.
parents did not.
But they tried it. Like they had. I remember the Thanksgivings at my mom's house where my dad was invited.
Yes.
And then my stepfather would like. his version, I wouldn't call it like violent, but his version of like punishing my sister would be, he'd say, present your hand, and then they would, and he'd go,
To who? To who?
to my sisters, never to me. Of course not.
What?
My dad would murder him. But so, then my father, who's trying to stir up trouble, but he goes, what was that? And they start fighting about
At the
corporal
Thanksgiving
punishment.
table?
Oh my
'Cause
God.
she was mixing her peas and the potatoes, and
If
who knows?
anybody if Shauna and I divorced and I go to a Thanksgiving and someone is slapping my child's hand like that, I'm fucking.
Of course, but was it? But
fighting
what if they're slapping
dealing
your
with
child's sibling?
That is
that
not
isn't
mine.
yours.
That isn't mine.
Yeah.
Then I'm just
Do you go,
texting under
"Fine,
the
kick
table.
him,
I'm like,
punch
this
him"?
fucking guy's a loser.
Sure.
Okay, I have two thoughts. First thought is you actually have less communication with the person you don't like, your ex-spouse, if you do the 1 week on, 1 week off. Because you're not constantly like, meet you here, meet you there.
Yes.
Know,
Yeah.
it's like all the back and forth.
And
so
I think that, like, to alleviate the idea of like, oh my God, I'm not going to see my kid for a week. I think that there should be within that week, you go take the kid out to dinner, drop them back off at home. It's like,
what do you think of that, Gianmarco? He doesn't like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with a perfect starter pack for a mother that's listening to this podcast and is like, I want to leave this motherfucker. The perfect starter pack.
I know, but the problem is,
Or
if you
father.
want to leave this motherfucker, you go, well, I don't want my kid to spend too much time with this motherfucker either. He's
That's not
poison, he's
necessarily.
toxic.
No, it might just be I don't want to spend that much time with the guy.
It can
Or
be.
the gal.
I'm just saying, like, my parents, we used to do a monthly dinner, the two of them and me, and it failed. It collapsed immediately. Collapsed. I mean, I think it happened twice. Every time they bring a present, like
Yes.
a Pavlovian, like, this is good.
Yes.
And then, like, second or third time, they got in a fight. My dad left the table before the appetizers arrived.
Stop
and I
it!
remember it. I was very young, but I remember that.
So they were still kind of in love with each other.
It's hard to fathom them having chemistry. My dad still says, how's your mom? And I'm like, come on, what is this? So, I don't know.
My mom would always say that. How's your father? I mean, it's so loaded with
And it's like, why are you putting this on me? Now I have the ick.
But now here's another question I have. Would you, Gianmarco, be successful, do you think? As successful had you not had all of these challenges you had to rise to?
Sure, who's to know? My dad's pretty crazy. It could be a different art form, but he's nuts enough. I think I still would have gone into stand-up at some point.
Oh, that's good.
Did you go back? When did they get divorced? You were a kid?
My parents got divorced when I was 5. I remember my dad was never really around. He was like always trying to start a nightclub that would fail. He had this one called Top of the Rocks. It was like my mom would like iron his suits, and then she'd find cocaine, and then he'd come home and he'd slap her around for finding the
my
cocaine.
God,
It was like not
no.
good. But then I remember my dad, this is my thought, he had his cleaning on his back, and he just came up to me in the kitchen and put out his hand. He goes, "See you later, kid." And I was like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm going to be gone for a while. I'm leaving," And no one talked to me. No one said anything. And then he was just he was already gone though.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, then my mother, it was like dealing with her breakdown, because I think she had 3 kids. Well, I know she had 3 kids. But I think the 3 kids by herself, no money. Nuns would come to the house with like baked beans, like in a like this big, like something you could not open. So we had like stored in our drawers all of this like canned goods that were like for the cafeteria. We didn't
Yeah.
eat them. You seem really
This
hurt
is
by
like,
this.
No, well, I mean, you're like laughing about it. I'm like, this is the saddest childhood. This is so sad. And
Why
the
do you
dad-
think I'm working so hard to make my daughter have the most magical experience of her life?
I mean, I'm just getting different pictures. First of all, I'm fixated on trying to start a nightclub. I'm like picturing him like up late in his room with cocaine, being like, all right, there'll be strobe lights.
no, he started them. They would fail.
Got it.
Did you and Moshe discuss, like, when I talk to Tova about marriage, my discussion is really about divorce. What would be do you
When you
discuss
talk to your girlfriend about marriage, well, because divorce was so traumatizing. for
because
you.
I think
Yeah.
it's kind of like you don't set up the rules of warfare in the midst of war. You try to do it in a time of peace. You try to talk about,
No, it's true.
if you had a kid, where are you both coming from? And obviously your emotions might change how you act in a basis, but like, did you ever discuss, like, before having a kid, like, if we ever got divorced? Did you?
I approached it more like, don't ever say the D word. Like it was kind of
Your
like
dick.
like it was kind of like we don't talk about that.
Really?
That was just my instinct, but I don't know.
I mean, your instinct comes from trauma of like the man with the cleaning being like, see you later.
I think it was more just like a romance instinct. I was always trying to I had a lot of, estrogen pumping through my veins. So I was like, how do we keep this romance alive and the magic and the mystery? And we don't say the D word, I wasn't very practical about it.
Yeah.
I think when Shauna and I were getting married, that was more when it was like, yeah, this does seem more like, okay, we're going to throw this party. And then what happens if it doesn't work out? Is like, that's the stakes of the party. The party's stakes are like, we're also signing this thing that says it's going to be very hard to uncouple this. So I think before we got married, that was a big conversation of like assets. And like I had,
You signed a prenup?
No, we just talked about it. We were like, okay, so I got that
Canadian conversation.
No, I mean, now we have kids, so like she takes everything she wants.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I think my hesitation to get married is because I'm like, well, I can't get divorced.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remind myself, like, yeah, you can. Like, it's like it is like it's almost in a reverse way. I'm like, well, I know all this data.
This is
I
perfect
should never
for
enter something that would lead to me getting a divorce. I mean,
Yes.
what would make me more like following my parents' footsteps than getting a divorce? It would feel awful.
I would love this to be the beginning of your vows. I've got all this data.
I've had the thought of the vows, of course,
Yeah.
and being like, no, don't, knowing to not start
Say
with
the
any
things.
kind of quibbling or like that the vows
Yeah.
is like any theater piece. It's like, this is for a specific purpose, and that's a good feeling.
Yes.
And not like, here's
a
my
feel-good
complex,
vows.
nuanced thoughts about why this is
when you
bullshit,
guys
but
are
I'm
all-
doing it anyway.
Yeah.
How strong is your desire to be a father?
I love kids for sure. It's just whether I also love my touring crazy life.
We're such gypsies, comedians, even actors. Like it's like I was just shooting a movie, and every actor is like coming from some other job. Their families are at home. They're like going from Atlanta to Santa Fe. Like they're just
Yeah.
they're like bopping all over the world. I'm like, how are you raising your children?
Do you agree
But
with
you're there too. You're
I
it takes a
have
village.
cornered the market on the 2-line part.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like, or the one scene, 2 scenes. I'm not I'm talking about like the stars of the movies. Like I used to feel bad. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm just like a bit player, but it's kind of perfect.
It is perfect. However, I think if you do take on a job that pulls you this way or that way, in the ethos of this podcast, which is good enough, is like, who the fuck cares? It's like,
I know.
okay, cool. So you're going to be gone. Okay, cool. So they're going to miss you. It's like you kind of just have to like,
Moshe's away for 3 months.
yeah, Moshe's away for 3 months. So
how do you feel? I mean, is this the longest?
Let's just say the cabinets and drawers are always closed.
Sure.
So that's
Tova will
nice.
say that to me too.
Do you
For
keep
sure.
everything open? Are you messy?
Oh, a disaster.
Ooh.
Disaster. Compared to Tova, when we were, you know how it is when you're with another couple and you use whatever they say against your partner. Be like, look, they seem to be. You talked about how messy your place was, and
Because of him.
yeah, but you were like chill about it. At least that's how you presented.
Because I'm worn down.
Yeah, and there's
It's been like 10 years of complaining.
there was definitely a fight about, we went to the Ryokan, and I just make things a little bit messier faster. And it wasn't that messy, but it was a fight. And I definitely was like, Natasha and Moshe, it was a mess over there, and they
throw
were
me in
fine.
there.
They
Throw
were
me in
fine,
there.
and they got a kid, and you're mad at me. You just a backpack on the floor.
I think this
And
is
it definitely came up as
messy
like
people and clean people will always make each other come.
you need a balance.
We were in Paris and we stayed at fucking, where's Marie Antoinette? Where'd she live? Versailles.
Yeah.
We
Where's that
stayed
girl?
in a hotel that was on the property of Versailles. It was so beautiful. It was so expensive. We could only go there one night. I saved up for it. The second we got there, he just dumped out his whole backpack of like dirty socks and his pods, the
Ew.
Zin pods, all over this like beautiful furniture. And I'm just like, this is such, and we just immediately got into a fight. And it's just, when you painstakingly pick the place, it's just really hard.
I have a thought because I'm the messy one. And last week we had Shauna on, my wife. She said she's messy. I will say, I think if she was here right now, she would also agree. I have been making movements towards the good side.
So has
I'm not
Moshe.
clean, But I'm like,
Yeah.
there's an amount of it that is like, this is comical and like you're absolutely like disrespecting what I care about for my wife. Like she cares that things are tidy, so I'll put effort towards it, and I think that's the best you can ask for. Is that like there's effort being put towards it.
My husband is definitely putting effort towards it, you know,
Great.
and I've figured out the way to do
Gianmarco?
that is to
I'm
give
putting
him a
effort.
list.
You're putting effort.
I'm putting effort always. I dated someone where she was messy too, and like we lived in a pigsty.
Yes.
It was bad.
Yes.
So that's why you need the balance. And if it's two clean people, then it's. I told Tova, I said the thing I never want to be is it's a scene from American Beauty where Kevin Spacey, shout out, he and his wife, their marriage is on the rocks, and there's this moment where they're about to fuck in the living room, and like they're on the couch, and she goes, oh, careful, because he's holding a glass of red wine, and she interrupts the moment to be like, careful, you might spill it on the carpet. And it's over.
His
and
boner's
it's over.
gone.
And it's just like, it's just this life they've created. And I say to Tova all the time, I say like, that's just the one thing I don't want. I don't want to like live in like a place where we're so terrified. And
But like putting your sex oil on the bed frame, that's it's like a nice material bed frame. Like you kind of do start to ruin. I gotta still say something.
Yeah, don't put the sex oil on the nice material.
sure. I'm
But
just saying
but don't interrupt my like
if
almost
you've been
climax
if you're
I'm holding
about to
red
get
wine.
divorced and you finally are about to make love again,
Don't.
you gotta let it go.
You gotta
These
let
material
it go.
objects.
Okay, I think what
Yes.
we've learned is go to couples therapy.
If you're fucking, drink white wine.
Oh, that's smart.
Ah.
And, you know, really try to make it work because divorce is hard on the kids. But I don't
guess
know.
so.
That's too judgmental.
Yeah, I don't.
What if you're in an abusive relationship? You got to get out.
You got to get out. And also, like, there's just better, like, Gianmarco, you've laid out some, the note behind the note of what you're saying is, I do think, even though you're like, trust me, if I was to tell my parents this advice, they would not have been able to shift. That there's like,
Oh, sorry. No. I didn't want to interrupt. I just had a thought.
no,
too.
you go tell me.
I think there's just a deep. Whenever people talk about like the way they speak about their ex, and of course this is the caveat: if it's abusive, if it's violent, yeah, let's get out of there. But whenever people talk about like their ex, in a way, you know, when people sometimes be like, "Oh, my ex was such a narcissist," and the one before that was such a narcissist, and
Yes.
you go, "Okay."
Yes.
And this culture of like, and I understand how it gets reinforced, but like never speak to your ex again, and you never talk to this person, you block, blah blah blah. I go, this is how you're going to set up every aspect of like romance and your dating life. And then when it's the most high stakes version and there's money and a house and a kid involved, now you're going to act like a reasonable human being. Get the fuck out of here. We have a culture that does that in the interest of taking care of kind of immediate emotions is like just block that person, cut him out, don't ever speak to them again. And also in relationships with jealousy, don't ever speak to your ex. Don't be friends with your ex. And you know, I understand the reasons for that too.
Yeah.
I just go, if you have never confronted having to deal with someone you used to be in a romantic relationship with, and you sure as fuck aren't going to master it when you're doing it involving a child.
And money.
And money.
And
Truly,
like schedules. And
the message is start talking to your ex.
Yeah.
Practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you get good if you needed to.
If you're not capable of talking to your exes, you should not be having a kid.
I think that's true too. I used to, when I was in my early 20s, I was super jealous. I met Shauna, my wife, and she like had exes and she still called them babe. And I'm like, excuse me there? What's
Yeah.
that?
And when
then-
you get divorced, it's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic.
You
She's gonna
guys will
call me
never
babe.
get divorced. She came and did our podcast. They kissed. She cried. I mean,
We had
Y'all
sex
are
on
in
that
love.
podcast if you want to go back to last week.
Yeah, no
you
one's
and
ever
your
been in love
girlfriend
and
are
then
in-
gotten divorced later.
No, I'm saying no.
That's never happened.
No, I think that this is like what you're saying is like it's true. We should be comfortable with. I think the best relationships are ones that we continue to choose, and at the same time, I think we're in a culture that is like pretty like immediate gratification attitude about like whether you're being taken care of in the relationship. You need to work towards it. I'll never forget my very first hosting job in real life on YTV. There was a camera woman, this French Canadian lady, and she was miserable smoking at the bar at the end of a shoot day. And I'm like, what's wrong? She goes, I'm in a relationship. I was with the woman for 6 years. We're married, we're happy. I meet a young girl and she loves me. She's very exciting. It's a very new relationship. I leave my wife, I go with her. Now it's been 4 years with a new girl and it's the same shit. And I'll never forget that. It's like,
That was a great accent, Sabrina.
That's good.
I mean, it's emblazoned in my mind.
Wow.
And it's like, I get that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that has to be, metabolized by a lot of people. And at the same time, I think some people are just like, well, I'm stuck in a bunch of bullshit. What am I going to do? And I'm like, it's like deciphering whether there's something that you can do, whether it's your attitude shifting but like, don't stay in a dead zone. But also, it's the same shit. You know?
And if you haven't picked yet, you want to pick someone whose shit is like there's a scale for the shit.
A sliding scale of shit.
A sliding scale.
Yes.
Like, I would rather have someone messy who drags me into their chaotic schedule on an almost hourly basis than someone who I'm constantly afraid they're cheating on me.
Yes. Or they're trying to start a nightclub.
They're trying to start a nightclub.
Red flag.
Or they're rude to waiters, or I don't know, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like or I'd rather have my husband be DJing than like going to strip clubs.
DJing is the devil that you know. Gianmarco, you talked in your special about freezing embryos, right?
You
didn't
did
freeze
that?
eggs.
Eggs.
You got to freeze embryos. I'm sorry.
Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry.
Great.
You got to freeze embryos.
Well,
Why
it's
did
too
you do
late.
eggs?
Because embryos are because that's like deciding to have a kid.
No,
That's the
it's
thing.
not.
You're putting it. It's
Oh,
there.
so you're hoping some of them don't thaw out during the transfer, and then you're like,
It's
"Sorry,
scary.
babe."
You see people get divorced and they have embryos in stock.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's a
I
huge
know.
lawsuit.
It's a
No,
huge
you're
conundrum,
right.
but they hold much better. But anyway, your straight vibes with the sex you're having, it's going to be...
No, we don't do it like that.
You're going to be... You don't go like that? What do you go, like this?
Yeah. I'll show you a video.
Well,
So you froze some eggs. You have potentially the intention of getting married, potentially the intention of having kids.
but also he's
Tell her
in his
don't watch this
30s. His star is on the rise. You are so successful. You're only getting more successful. How did you harness this international audience?
I just think it's social media. I just leaned in like every front, and I was doing it myself, and then I built a team, and it was just the first priority. And
Is
it
the
was
social media like getting your clips out?
Yeah, getting the clips out, but it's like, every podcast and a whole schedule. There's probably 30 separate clips that went up today, and I didn't post a single one
Are
of them.
you kidding?
Yeah, between Snapchat, now Substack, Threads, Blue Sky.
Substack is real?
Substack is coming back, and now
But
it's
people
become,
are just writing things.
now
huh?
there's more you can post videos and stuff. So
Oh
we're
my
there.
gosh,
And believe
okay.
me, the second I can afford it, it's someone to do a LinkedIn, whatever foreign apps.
What do you mean LinkedIn?
LinkedIn has posts and videos
Are
and
they
viral.
all
Oh
different
my
videos,
gosh.
or it's like because the truth is you have the goods. You've got so many funny bits.
Yeah.
But you're saying 30 videos are going up, not 30 different
Not
videos.
30 different videos,
Okay.
but like, there's probably at least one new podcast clip every day from the pod, probably 3 to 4 stand-up clips, the special, everything's becoming a clip.
Wow.
And it's just, so it's everywhere. And I just think of it the way that back in the day, if you were on NBC, they would be in charge of putting that on some channel in Japan
Yes.
or whatever, and you got to do it yourself. So I'm finding my own subtitle people. I'm getting into dubbing. Someone made a Ukrainian dub of Thief of Joy, and it has 100,000
Wow.
views on YouTube, and you go like, oh my God, like. And they don't speak. Most of them watching that, I'm sure they might not speak English enough to see a show, but they'll consume my media, and I'll have a
Wow.
Ukraine, and then who knows?
I would argue if you weren't that little boy packing those action figures into that duffel bag, you wouldn't
Yeah.
have the
You would not be
capacity to
transcribing.
be
Yeah.
doing all this
I don't think I
shit.
have the capacity to have a touring life. I think all the time about how wow, you recreated your childhood. You're packing every week to go somewhere else, and you're
Wow.
overpacking.
You've still got your action figures?
I wish I did buy some in Japan actually.
You're going to, when you have a kid, which you might, right? What are you
For
leaning
sure.
towards? You're going to have a kid. You're going to have
don't
so much fun getting little toys with them.
For sure.
Because I can tell the way your eyes lit up when I said action figure.
I'll be so into that. part
I
of
love to go
things.
to little Japantown and have a budget and get a bunch of little figurines and be like just as invested.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. I'm excited for the media, like the movies. There's so much of like good kids movies I haven't seen in the last 10 years or so.
Do you have like a father model that you think you're going to be? Like when you see this kind of father, you're like, I'll be that kind of dad.
See, I had very lax parents, and I feel like I'm going to be an over-disciplinarian, and that's the fights Tova and I will have. My dad let me quit a lot of things, and I was very lazy and ate like shit. I mean, talk about, when it comes to food, I'm going to have to talk to someone about how to talk to a kid about food.
You're just like,
because in my mind I'm like, get the fucking candy out of here, get the shitty cereal out of here.
No, you should.
We're gonna go to
it's sparrows or nothing.
But you hear the other version, and then the kid goes to school, and that's where they snack on Snickers.
Don't trash their bodies and their brains with candy. I mean, I don't know why I've let my husband take it. He got these like cluster sour nerd bumpy things at the movie theater yesterday.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
The two of them ate the whole
they're like
bag.
Nerd clusters.
I
They're
took
so good.
one bite and I was just like, I almost called RFK. I was on RFK. I became a Maha head.
Yeah.
Just from that one little bite.
Yeah.
All right, listen. We
do have a meme of the week.
We have something we want to play.
What is this podcast about?
Great question. It's a cool guy parenting podcast. It's for parents that.
Oh, it is a parenting. Okay, good.
But
good.
It's for parents who don't mind listening to things that are not just about parenting.
But
it's
also,
really for parents that are chill, cool,
and people who
hot,
have interesting stories about what happened to them.
It's also for non-parents.
But that's why, honestly, like spending time with you and Moshe and your daughter in Japan, like I take it in a great deal because I go like, what is it to have an artistic life with one kid, and also the degree of like. Your kid knows the world, you're someone's cursing. It's not I have that liberal, more loose, and like just seeing it in practice and seeing it functional. It's nice.
Did we inspire you?
Very much.
Well, it's funny because like we dropped her off at this cooking camp recently, and like we were late. We had like we were scrambling. We forgot like the time or whatever, and we get to the class, and every kid has their water bottle out, and then I look. We don't have a water bottle. We go to the car. We find this like broken like plastic Poland Springs, and we're transferring water, and we put it there, and then we had to put her name on it, and it was just like such a metaphor. But then Moshe was like, "We're artists. We're not gonna be there at the, we're just not gonna have the same, expensive water bottle. Like I have the water bottle, but I don't know where it is right now."
Honestly, that could be a poster for Good Enough. It's like all these meticulous water bottles, and then like a Poland Spring crossed out Good Enough. That's it. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like and then Moshe makes me feel better about it because I feel all the pressure, and he's like, we're artists. She's got a cool life. She gets to see all these things instead, It's like, and she's actually into it. So let's see the meme.
My controversial take on hanging out with toddlers, it's trip sitting. If you know, you know. If someone's tripping and they're having a bad time, they're like spiraling, they're freaking out, what you don't want to do is be like, here's why you shouldn't freak out. I'm just trying to do this, so you just shouldn't freak out about it, right? Like that's just gonna make them freak out more. Maybe your toddler's getting stuck in an emotion. All right, time for a vibe shift. Maybe it's time for a snack. Have you looked outside yet? Whoa, beautiful, isn't it? Take them to see a tree. Bring them something nice to look at. In your hand, something small and pretty, a little leaf. Put on some music. The vibe shift is a very powerful tool for like a tantrum that's going nowhere. But then sometimes those feelings really need to be felt, right? Someone's going through a tough part in the trip. It doesn't mean they need a distraction. Like maybe they just need someone to really like hold space for that emotion. Do you know what I mean? Give them a little hug. Be like, I'm here for you, man.
But what's funny? She's clearly like a nanny and not a mom.
She's clearly tripping right now. I do like the advice of going outside. Like I find with my 2-year-old, it's like that. It's so money to change the interior exterior location. Huge. You go outside. You say, look at the moon. It's like it's all done. Everything's done.
Are you saying that you're like, well, sometimes you gotta teach a lesson?
You're just so emotionally invested in every moment as a mother
Yeah.
that it's really hard to just be like, look at the bird. I don't know. It's just like I'm trying to like correct trauma. Like
You're like, undo the nightclub. The cleaning is on the back back and he's leaving, but it's not for you to take on.
I mean, but I actually really do like this advice. I don't have, I mean, sometimes nannies, I mean, by the way, she might be a mom, but like,
She could be a mom, but she does look under
By the way,
20.
you're taking this with kids. I am taking this like, oh, if my girlfriend's having a meltdown.
Yes!
I'm like, yeah.
That
I
actually
should think of it like a shrooms trip. Yeah.
You're like, look at this tiny leaf, girl.
Yeah,
Tova,
yeah, just
look
put
how
on some
little it is.
music.
There's like veins in the leaf if you really pay attention.
I feel like it's back to it's always the conversation, especially with couples, of what is it, a prescriptive versus like, do you want a solution or do you just want to be heard? I feel like that's so much of everything.
where do you
Yes.
land on that? Because I am so prescriptive, I can't get out of it. I'm
Yeah.
in like a jail.
I can be overly prescriptive, but I think Tova is prescription first, and I'm more often the one being like, I don't want an answer. I'm scared of dying. Just hug me. And she's like, why would you be blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
Yes.
please, you can't
Just
reason
live in
this
a world
right
where
now.
I feel like I might be dying.
But we're both prescriptive people.
And also, like, I think sometimes, like, I do have good ideas that you might not
Of
have thought
course.
of.
Sure.
Why don't you want to hear that?
But that's the thing. But that's what.
Why do you
what
wanna be held
Gianmarco's
right
saying.
now?
No, but he's saying sometimes you're just not ready. I mean, I guess that's like the switch in this video where I was like, wait, I thought you were just telling a tip before I put. And then she's like, and then sometimes you just need a hug. It is like that is so life is like recognizing when you want one or the other, or when your partner wants one or the other, or when your kid needs one or the other.
I mean, how do you deal with like tantrums, like disaster?
I think this is a really good tip is like a tantrum is because you're like spiraling. You're like, this is like, it happens for us too. It's like, oh my God, I didn't get this. This is not going to happen. Everything's I'm going to lose my fucking house. Like, it's just like from one cascading sort
It's
of
called
mental.
catastrophic
Thinking. It's like, that's what happens to
I'm
kids
great
in the
at it.
moment when they're like, I want
Yeah.
this thing. Why can't I have this thing? And the best form that I think as a parent, like my biggest hack would be changing the environment and changing the focus. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So you're like spinning out. Actually,
Set
Shauna
and setting.
is doing this with Rowan, which is like, now I'm taking it too. I go, breathe. And then he like knows that we're not going to address, we're not like moving forward until he does a big breath. And then from there, we can like kind of like pivot to.
See, when my girlfriend's having a meltdown and I say, honey, breathe.
Yeah.
It doesn't work at
Why
all.
not try pointing at your nose?
Honey,
Honey,
breathe.
Maybe what about breathe
No,
together?
point to your nose. I think it's she doesn't want to hear your voice in that moment, but she does want this. Honey.
Are you mad at me or you're not breathing?
Well, I think you guys are a great couple.
It's very sweet.
You have a lot of
We had such a good
love
time.
and
We spent so much
passion.
time together. It was really
That's so
beautiful.
sweet.
and you guys really seemed so happy, and I was really touched by how you welcomed my daughter, because most of the time, like, comedians, New Year's Eve dinner, and there's one 8-year-old, it's like that can be a bummer.
I dig it. I also think truly, like, in a selfish way, I'm like, it feels crazy to consider having kids given the lifestyle I had, because I don't confront kids being around. We just had friends who had a kid, and they were supposed to come over for Passover, and they're like, we don't know. And I'm like, I'm begging you, I want to be around a 2-week-old. And if they're crying and shitting, it's like, I want to know what that is. I want to be informed about this thing.
Yeah.
I grew up in New York City alone in an apartment. I haven't really, since I was a kid, experienced what it's like to be like surrounded by children who need tending to, and the village aspect of it. So like, I always enjoy it.
I mean, here's the reason why you should have a child is because they're angels. Like, we get
really
to
is. If
live
you get to do
around
it,
these
it's the
angels
best. And then you
who don't know
tour.
who Trump is, and they don't have social media, and they don't have phones, and they're not already a part of like that society.
And by the time they know who Trump is, you offload them, you start again.
Yeah.
But you're the eyes from the outside vibes. What do you see parents failing at, and what do you see parents winning at?
Oh gosh, I mean, truly, it's embarrassing. I'm really reaching that age where now they're having kids now.
Yeah.
New York lifestyle. It's happening in like mid-30s.
It's happening.
And it's taken everyone an extra 2 years to actually get pregnant. Because it's just everyone's starting late.
Yeah.
And so I'm still figuring out. I don't know what people are doing well or not. My girlfriend, she grew up in this Chabad community, Hasidic community. So all her friends from back then have 6, 7, 8 kids, and that's a whole different thing because they're home all the time. So I don't know. I do, the thing I always think about is like screen time, because I've seen it's always hard. I've seen, like, there was someone I knew and they were problematic, but their kid was a fucking nightmare and like screaming, crying. And in that moment, you're like, yeah, put the fucking iPad and glue it to his fucking face. This is awful. And it's so, you know.
Glue it to his fucking face.
It's that nurture versus nature thing where like you know, your daughter was like well behaved and sweet and it's easy to go, oh, it's because you both are great parents, but it's also like maybe you had a second one, they'd fucking suck. I don't know. So it's hard to judge. I don't think I judge fully from the outside because I'm like, did you get lucky with your kid? Is it raising well?
Is there something from your childhood that you know you will do? That you really appreciated that one of your parents or step parents did? There is something you would keep.
Yeah, I really want to like build in more tradition. Like my I've always liked board games, and I think Tova was the first one to be like. I always talk about that. The only time my stepdad and mom and we all got along, New Year's Eve, we'd play like board games. And it was like we needed a game to get through all the other shit.
I love
and she's like,
playing
that's
board
why you
games
love board games.
with the kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
What was your
it's like
favorite
a
one?
neutral.
I liked Cranium. I would have done charades. I like more simple, and I like to perform and sing and draw.
Balderdash?
I don't know if I've done that one.
I don't know Cranium. Balderdash, Cranium. I think I'm just getting to the point where I could play Scrabble with her because she can read.
Really?
I don't know.
You're probably destroying her. Just annihilating her at Scrabble.
I always kind of not let her win, but I'm like aware that but Moshe's just like we'll play trivia for kids podcast and he just answers right away. I'm like, yesterday I showed him, I go, for kids. Like he's just
That's so funny.
like you would think
No,
you would
if
like
you want to
wait
feel
for
smart though, play trivia for kids because you're like fucking red, mercury, oxygen.
So Gianmarco, tell us about your podcast.
I have a podcast called The Downside, and it's me
Good
and my
name.
Thank you. It's my good friend Russell Daniels, who's a Broadway performer and very funny comedian, and no kids, married, and is resolute no kid.
No.
So
No.
yeah.
That Broadway lifestyle, they don't fit in, honey. You
Yeah,
got to go to
yeah.
the theater at 5, right at bedtime.
Is he a gay man?
No,
He's a straight man.
straight man.
So maybe he can't decide that. He doesn't know what's going to happen with that penis of his and all the drippings that come out.
Sure, that's true.
You
I've
think
never
I don't
brought
know
that
how
up.
it goes?
Yeah, and we bring on guests and we have them complain. I want a safe place where people can be negative, which I often, when I'm in LA, it's tough. There's an over positivity in LA that really can bother me. Someone I saw it happen, but someone said to someone who just moved here, they're like, yeah, I'm here for 2 weeks, and this person said, don't you just love it?
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, you've set them up for, if they don't love it, they've disappointed you now with their real feeling. And I feel like that. So it's a place, my podcast, place to complain, get negative, and you're supported. No one's going to say, well, you should be thankful.
Yeah, no one's going to say that.
That's a great idea for a podcast. You know what else my friend would say? Like, don't be the perspective police. You know, like someone's like, oh, I feel so bad. Well, you could be starving in another country, and those people don't even get food. Like
That
that's
was my
like,
parents' parenting style.
yeah, really.
My mom, if I'd say bad, I say, Mom, I'm having the worst day of my life. She goes, I hope so.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means like, I hope this is the worst.
Oh, that's
and I'm
good.
like, no, it's not good. It's not good. It doesn't feel good at all.
But
It's kind of
You
funny
go,
though.
okay.
She's not validating you, which is the style now.
Yes.
But it's like, I kind of like that.
This is what I would say to my mom. Mom, I had the worst day. She'd be like, well, there are kids in Africa that were stolen from their home and raped, then
Oh
she
my
killed.
did not say
God.
that.
Yeah, I'm like, if there's a nurture piece to my gayness, it's that.
And those girls' mom was saying to them, your kid has
I
been
hope
raped.
that's
I
your
hope this
worst
is the worst day.
Oh my God. Well, make sure to follow Gianmarco on one of his 90.
Yeah.
And then we'll listen to The Downside.
And if you feel like transcribing this podcast in any of your favorite languages, go for it.
Yeah. Dub it.
Dub it,
Dub
baby.
Well, let's hope our children are as cool and as successful and
Gorgeous?
gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous
You
as
are.
Yeah, most
Gianmarco
important.
Soresi.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. We love you.
We love you so much.